Hello everybody, this is Anime Swamp's channel. I'm Saida. Today I want to talk about Dark Theory Evangelion.
Bruh.
Evangelion.
I wish you enjoyed this video a lot, so let's see the video. For anime buffs all around the world, Neon Genesis Evangelion
Evangelion.
simply must see, but by the time you're done, you might be left with more questions than answers. Not to fear, there is a movie too called The End of Evangelion.
Evangelion.
Surely that answers more questions, right? Well, not exactly. In fact, people have been trying to analyze this movie for decades now, and there are some areas where nobody has ever gotten a straight answer. This has given rise to a ton of straight, unique, downright terrifying fan theories about the end of Evangelion. One thing we know for sure is that both the show and the movie are steeped in a religious commentary. One thing we know, many End of Evangelion fan theories are centered around that, but there is even more to delve into. Between the Eva Souls theory, the ties, references to dating sims, and the inner workings of creator Dika Anno, you can be sure things are about to get weird. Let's see fan theories. Asuka is pregnant. Among the more commonly asserted fan theories out there is the one that suggested Asuka may be pregnant during this event of End Evangelion, or perhaps even earlier in the anime. Evidence supporting this position includes her final lines of dialogue in the End of Evangelion, "I feel sick" or "how disgusting," which some fans have taken as a reference to morning sickness. This may seem like a reach, but there might actually be something to it. Apparently, when Asuka's voice actress inquired as to how the line should be delivered, director Hideki Anno directed her to deliver the line as though she were experiencing morning sickness. It's far from definite, but that certainly is something to think about. The reboots are sequels. The abstract manner that the reboots do or do not fit into the larger Evangelion franchise is a source of much theory crafting among Evangelion fans. Although the name reboot seems to be implied that the movie are simple remakes or reimaginings of an already established story, certain fans disagree or suggest that there is a more explicit connection between them and the series. The most plausible of this theory is that the reboots are sequels in a very literal sense, in that they take place in an explicit chronology after the events of End of Evangelion, Evidence to support this theory includes imagery reminiscent of the original series, like an enormous stain of blood across the moon. Is that a simple reference or something more? Number 8. Misato killed Kaji. It's clear that the fate of Sirius' spy, Ryoji Kaji, is an unpleasant one. He seems to have dug too deep into the secret at the core of NER, SEALs, and the Japanese government and caught a bullet for his mistake. What is less clear, however, is who exactly pulled the trigger, which has led to much speculation among fans. Although it's possible that it was simply an unnamed assassin, some of Kiji's dialogue before his death in episode 21 indicate that it was possibly someone familiar to him. In particular, the line, "Oh, what took you so long?" Among the other translations, it delivered with a casual demeanor. Some have speculated that it was Misato herself who took the shot, which would certainly be tragic. Number 7. Time loop theory. Between the rebuild movies and the original TV anime, there are certain hints that have led fans to speculate that the entirety of the Evangelion universe takes place in an unending time loop, and that the stories that the characters live out throughout the course of any piece of Eva media is but one experience of one timeline. Although the evidence to support this conclusion is somewhat scarce, there are elements in the rebuild movies that seems to harken back to notable events in the Evangelion series. It's unclear if these are more than just references Anno is making to his older work, or if the audience really is supposed to read deeper into the imagery and conclude something interesting about Evangelion's chronology. Number 6. The TV ending and movie ending are the same events, just different perspectives. This one's got some interesting and vaguely distressing background to it. Rather than showing two different endings, some fans theorize that both ends of the TV series and EOE are exactly the same. The only difference is our point of view. This means that even during the TV version, Misato is still dying, Asuka is still curled up and semi-Lucy at the bottom of a lake. Gendo is still being super creepy with Rei and Lilith, and Shinji is still having a mental breakdown. The TV version simply takes place as internal dialogues and thoughts in the individual character's mind. We see glimpses of the grim reality actually going on through brief, something seconds-long shots that show things like Ritsuko's body floating, Misato shot and dead, and Unit 2 in a fetal position underwater. The idea that the TV version is all a happy fantasy for our characters is both intriguing and still kind of hard to believe. Number 5. EOE is what happens when Shiji rejects instrumentality. Instrumentality is a key theme throughout the series, and some say that in the end of the TV series, Shinji finally accepts instrumentality. He doesn't make a choice, he doesn't fight it, he doesn't even really question it hard. He just gets a huge dose of self-love and acceptance and acknowledges the new world he's being brought into and realizes he can live there comfortably. The movie, on the other hand, is all about Shinji making a choice. He doesn't just blindly accept a new world made for him, full of sunshine and rainbows. Instead, people around him die. He loses many he cares about, and he never really hints a point where he loves himself at all. As Asuka points out, he doesn't even really like himself. Many fans think this indicates that the TV ending is all about acceptance, while the movie is all about rejection. Number 4. Rei is the moon and Asuka is the sun. When it comes to art and in show visuals of Rei Ayanami, you might notice that we often see images of the moon. It's shown behind her in the final moments of the movie. She's often seen staring at it, and it's even the last thing she looks at before she goes off to test for the dummy plug. This also ties in with the female's menstrual cycle, which moves in a similar cycle to the moon and is seen in brief image concerning Rei throughout the series. In other words, Rei is representation of the cool, quiet moon. On the other hand, Asuka is the polar opposite of Rei in so many ways, indicating that she is the sun. She's fiery, she's always shown in daylight, as she seems to actually go out of her way to oppose Rei at every turn. In EOE, her last moments life ever involve her reaching up into the sky, towards the sun, behind just contrasting the two girls. The second phase of the supposed symbolism is still up for debate. Number 3. Gendo tells Ritsuko he needed her. One question fans have constantly asked since EOE first came out is, what in the bleeding world did Gendo say to Ritsuko just before he shot her? We know she calls him a liar, but what was he supposedly lying about? One theory, which actually holds quite a bit of water, is he tells her, "I needed you." Why this phrase? Because it pops up pretty much everywhere. It's the last thing Maya sees on her computer prayer before dying. It's part of the name of the final chapter in the movie. Shinji suggests that everyone wants to be needed. To top it all off, in a final conversation with Gendo, Ritsuko tells her that he never accepted or wanted anything from her to be with. This would lead to her later calling him a liar for trying to claim otherwise. Number 2. The timeline constantly repeats itself. This theory has gained more support as of late, mostly because of the rebuilt sequel version of NGE that's come out more recently. This theory holds that NGE timeline is fractured, looping, and we only see a small part of it at any given time. This is backed up by the fact that Quaro seems to know who Shinji is, and that Rei has sense of her life restarting multiple times. It also explains the vast differences in the sequel, the original series, EOE, and even the manga. What this means for the EOE movie is that this ending is just one of many, and that Shinji might actually have a sense of that. This is also supported by occasional scenes going back in time, like Shinji and Asuka yelling at each other over coffee. We know these scenes didn't actually happen during the original series, so where else would they have come from except for alternate timeline? Which timeline comes first, however, is still widely debated to this day. Number 1. Mass-produced EVAs have no souls. One thing we are pretty much know at this point is that EVAs have human souls. Unit 2 is Asuka's mother, Unit 1 is Yui. This all leads to a pretty big question once the movie rolls around, mainly concerning the souls of the mass-produced lipstick-faced EVAs. Who are they? One theory implies states that EVAs don't have souls at all. They all use dummy plugs, which have no real souls in them, though they do use Rei and Quaro's data. Ritsuko herself states that they cannot synthesize a human mind or souls entirely. So is this perhaps why they seem brainless? All that sounds well and good, but that just brings up the question of their 80 fields, which Quaro claims from the soul. If they have no soul, then how would these soulless units have 80 fields? Really, this theory raises more questions than it gives answer. Thanks for watching us. If you like this video, please subscribe to enjoy our more videos. See you next time.